In this video, we're going to represent percents, decimals, and fractions with number lines. Plot the fraction, decimal, and percent on the triple number line and label the amounts in each form. So, here we're given the fraction 1/2, and notice we have three number lines: fraction, decimal, and percent. And notice how the units line up. 1, the unit of 1 of a fraction equals a decimal of 1, equals 100%, because 100% means 100 per 100, which is 1. So, if we want to write the fraction 1/2, that is going to be cutting 1 into 2 equal pieces, which would be right here. And this would be our fraction 1/2. Now let's find the corresponding decimals and percents. So here is our decimal. That is halfway between 0 and 1. And notice this is partitioned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 equal pieces. So each tick mark is a tenth. So this is 0.1, 0.2, etc. And 1/2 is at 0.5. Okay. Now we can cut between 0 and 100% into 2 equal pieces. And notice, if we think about 0.5 as a percent, this is 5/10 or 5/100, which is 50%. And you can also think of it as you're cutting 100% into 2 pieces, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. So these are all of our equivalent forms for 1/2 written as a decimal and a percent. Let's look at the next one. Here we're given a decimal value of 0.2. So let's go to the decimal number line. These are still partitioned into tenths. So this is 1/10 and this is 2/10. 0.2. Okay. Now to find what this is as a fraction, we know that 2/10 is the fraction form of the decimal. Okay. We could also simplify it to 1/5. So if we think of cutting this at every 2/10, cutting the fraction line, that's 2/10. This is another one. There's 2 more, 2 more, and 2 more. Notice this is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal pieces. And this corresponds to 1 out of 5, or 1/5. Now we can use the same idea with the percent number line. Okay, we can think of cutting it into 10 equal pieces. Okay, and then each tick mark would be 10%. Okay, and we could continue on, but we have the one we need. So at 2/10 we have 20%. Okay, so again, 100% divided into groups of 10% would be 10 equal copies, and 2/10 is 20%. Let's look at one more. Here we're given 75%. Okay, so 75%, you can think of quarters. There are 75 cents in $1, or 3 quarters. Okay, so let's cut the percent into halves, and then we'll cut the halves into halves. So half of 50% is 25%, and halfway between 50% and 100% is 75%. Okay. So here's 75% on our percent number line. Okay. You could also cut it into 10% like we did here with decimals, but when you have a nice number like 75, it's broken into 4 equal pieces or quarters. That's a little bit easier to plot this way. Now here's where this corresponds on the decimal number line. This is 7/10, and this is 8/10. So this decimal is halfway between, which is 0.75. Okay. Now looking at our fraction, Okay, we'll use the same idea we used with percents. Okay, so we know in terms of a decimal, it's 75 hundredths, but that will simplify to 3/4 or 3/4, just like we talked about here. So I'm going to cut our fraction number line into 4 equal pieces by making 3 cuts. Notice this is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, which is 1. So this value is 3/4.